What's up, guys? LiquidWolf here, and welcome to LiquidWolf TCG. This is a new channel I'll be doing because I've been enjoying card games a lot, and I figured I might as well share the experience with you guys. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a deck profile of my favorite deck, DDD. Let's get into it. Right, so start off the list, we'll go with the main deck. And first off, 3 copies of DD Savant Kepler. This is your standard DDD startup. You normal or special summon Savant Kepler. You get to either add a Dark Contract from deck to hand, which is what you're most likely going to do, or you can return a DD or Dark Contract that's on the field back to your hand. And next we'll go for the extender that recently came out in Battle Chaos. That is DD Griffin. Now DD Griffin's a very good card, mainly because if you control a DD monster, you can special summon DD Griffin in defense position. If he is pendulum summoned from the extra deck or from the hand, you can discard a DD or Dark Contract and then add a draw card from deck. Or if you special summon from the grave, you can add a DD card from your deck to hand. And his pendulum effect, target one fiend type monster you control. It gains 500 attack for every Dark Contract with different names on the field and or grave, and also destroy this card. That is a hard once per turn, just remember that. Next, 3 copies of DD Savant Copernicus. Now, Copernicus is a very good card, mainly because when he is normal or special summoned, I say he, it's a thing, but yeah, you can send a DD or Dark Contract from deck to grave. And his pendulum effect, basically, if something was to deal damage to you, you can negate that effect and destroy this card. Let's go to the next card, which is 3 copies of DD Swirl Slime. I was going to say Necro Slime, skipping it. I saw a card that was a bit earlier. So, DD Swirl Slime. Standard DD card, use it from hand's effect to fusion summon from hand. And you can also banish it from the grave to special a DD monster in hand. Then 3 copies of DD Lamia. This is your tuner monster, one of them. You can use this effect of DD Lamia from hand or the grave. Destroy a DD or Dark Contract on the field, or from hand. I say destroy, it's basically send. And then you can special summon it, but it's banished when it leaves the field. And then 2 copies of DD Necro Slime. Necro Slime is basically the same as Swirl Slime, but you banish from the grave to fusion summon instead. Then 1 copy of DD Orthros. If you were to take effect damage, special summon this card. If he's pendulum summoned, you can't special summon any monsters other than fiends for the rest of that turn. His pendulum effect, I honestly do not remember. I don't ever think I use it. I think it's destroy a card. Yep, target a spell or trap in the field, and one other DD or Dark Contract, destroy them both. That's all this. DD Baphomet. This is one card that I've not seen many people play. What it does is target another DD monster you control, change its level from between 1 and 8. It's once per turn. Hard ones were. 1 copy of DD Vice Typhon. It's essentially another copy of DD Necro Slime, but its limit is level 7 or higher fusion monsters. It also has an effect where you can tribute it to special summon a DDD from your deck. That effect is rarely used. I think it's only from if it gets normal summoned, so you're mainly using it for a fusion summon. 1 copy of DD Savant Thomas. Pendulum effect is great. You can just target a DD monster in your face up in your deck, add it to hand, and it's the monster effect. You can target a DD monster in your pendulum scale, destroy it, and then special level 8 DDD from your deck, but its effects are negated. Speaking of, 2 copies of DDD Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok. This card is amazing. So, level 8, when it's normal or special summon, you can target a DDD monster in your grave, special summon it. You can also tribute another DD monster you control to banish a card your opponent controls. Oh, a monster your opponent controls. Doesn't target, just banishes. Its pendulum effect, when you normal or special summon DD monster, you can target a DD monster in the grave, special summon it. Then you take 1,000 damage, and then any battle damage your opponent takes that on is halved. Then go DDD Divine Zero King Rage. So its pendulum effect, if you were to take effect damage, you don't. And then you can normal summon a DDD monster, or DD monster, from your hand that is level 5 or higher without paying tribute. Its monster effect is basically, when it's battling, you can make its attack equal to your opponent's life points if their life points are below 4,000 or 4,000. And then it can tribute another DD or Dark Contract on the field to gain either it can attack directly, your opponent can't activate cards or effects from their hand, or cards or effects from the field. Then 3 copies of Dark Contract with a Gate. Apologies for the mixed rarities. I'm still trying to get 2 more copies of the Ultra. Standard Dark Contract. During the main phase, you can add a DD monster from deck to hand. And then during standby phase, your standby phase, you take 1,000. Every Dark Contract's got that effect, except from the field spell, I've noticed. 1 copy of Dark Contract or King. You fusion summon using monsters from your hand, field, or grave. If you use them from grave, you banish. And during your standby phase, you take 1,000 damage. Then Dark Contract with Patent License. This is one of the newer ones. If your opponent special summons a monster with the same type, being Synchro, Fusion, Xyz, or Link, as a DDD monster you control, they take 1,000 damage, and then they're locked out of that mechanic for the rest of the turn. If this card is sent from field to grave, you can add a DD monster from your grave, or from face up in the extra deck. Then 1 copy of Dark Contract with Eternal Darkness. Well, you have 2 DD cards in your Pendulum Zone. Your opponent can't target monsters in the field with spell trap effects, can't tribute them for a tribute summon, or use them as a Synchro, Xyz, or Fusion material. Then, during standby, you take 1,000. Stand up, please. Then a copy of DD Headhunt. Essentially Snatch Steal for DDDs. If you control a DDD monster, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls, take control of it until the end of the next turn. It's effects on the gate. It can't attack. And if the monster you targeted is special from the extra deck, it becomes a DDD monster. Then for hand traps, we've got 2 copies of Drone Lockbird, 2 copies of Effect Veiler, 1 Call By. Call By is not really a hand trap, but you can activate it from hand on your turn. Otherwise you set it. Then generic spells to support the deck, 1 for 1, and 2 copies of Allure Darkness. That's the main deck. Next up is the extra deck. We're going to start off with Link Monster. The only Link monsters we run in the deck, 3 copies of DDD Abyss King Gilgamesh. When this is Link summoned, if you don't have a Pendulum Scale already set, you can set one from the deck. But you do take 1,000. And then you're locked into DDDs for the turn. If this monster you control would be destroyed by card effect or battle, by your opponent's card effect or battle, that is, you can special a DDD from your grave or extra deck. Really good card, good standard card. And it's actually an interesting thing that you'll figure out later on. But yeah, definitely 3 of. And for a Synchro, 1 DDD Ghost King. Yeah, Gus King Alexander. I don't know why I say Ghost. When a DD monster you control is normal or special summoned, you can target a low 4 lore DD monster in your grave, special summon it. I believe it does have another effect, but that's the only one you really use. Nope, that is its only effect. This is an odd one that people will not really understand, but Borrowed Savage Dragon. Now, yes, you will be locked in a DDDs on the turn you summon Gilgamesh, but this is more for like if it's like you've done your turn one, they couldn't get through your board, you've got a DD, you got a DDD Gilgamesh in your grave, you just synchro into Warlord Savage, attach that just for a null negate. You could easily cut that for something else, but yeah, it's there. Then one copy of DDD Curse King Siegfried, standard DDD, spell trap negate, quick effect once per turn. And if it's destroyed, you gain 1,000 life points for every dark contract you control. For fusion, 2 copies of DDD Flame King Genghis. If you special summon a DD monster, you can special one back from the grave. If it's destroyed by card effect, you can add a dark contract, I think it is. Yep, add a dark contract from your grave. Then 1 copy of DDD Oracle King Dark. It's got a passive effect where if you were to take effect damage, you gain it instead. Solid card. It's a level 7. You can go into your level 8 synchros with it really easily. 1 copy of DDD Dragonbane King Beowulf. This card is interesting. I like it myself because one, it gives all your DD monsters piercing damage, and during the standby phase, you can destroy every spell and trap on the field. It's also level 8, so Kali Yuga, easy. Speaking of level 8s, DDD High Flame King Genghis, only one of. So it's similar to the small version of them where you get the special from grave, but it is a little bit better. Well, I say a little bit, it's a lot better. If a DD monster is normal or special summon a DD monster from grave. It doesn't have a level requirement, just a DD monster. And also on your turn, it's a negate for spell and traps. Then for the Xyz, 1 copy of Wave King Caesar. You can detach material for every monster destroyed by battle that turn. Special back DDDs, but you take 1,000 for every special monster from that effect. And if it's sent from field to grave, you can add a dark contract from deck to hand. 1 High Wave King Caesar, so rank 6. Basically, it's your Nibiru negate. So if they try to use an effect to special summon something, detach material, negate, destroy, and then give an LDD monster you control 1,800, and he gets 1,800 extra as well. And weirdly enough, it's not once per turn. Then Kali Yuga. He was the main boss monster for a long time. After he's XE summoned, for the rest of the turn, everything else is negated. Face up, face down, doesn't matter. But it's only on the field. That is the thing you need to remember. It doesn't negate things from hand until they touch the field. Also, it does not negate the grave. But anything on the field, negated. As soon as it hits the board, everything on the field is negated. Also, once per turn, you can detach material, destroy every spell and trap on the field, and then another once per turn, detach material, set a dark contract from death to grave. No, from grave to field. Then the new boss monster, DDD Divisor King Deus Machinax. He a big boy. I'm just going to say it that way. You can overlay this on top of any DDD monster, so that includes the Link monster. Once per chain, not once per turn, once per chain, if your opponent activates effect of a monster they control, either detach 2 material or destroy a dark contract you control, attach that monster's material. And also at the end phase, you can set it in the pendulum scale. And then its pendulum effect, you can target if you've got another DD monster in your pendulum scale, you can target that and another pendulum monster you control. Swap them, essentially. So you special the one from pendulum scale and you set the one that's on the field into the pendulum scale. But yeah, that's the extra deck. Now for the side deck, it's not anything special. It's more just stuff that comes in handy every now and again. 3 copies of Impermanence, just a great negate. The 3 copies of Siphoning Gear Gamma and Driver. That's the Gamma package. It's actually quite useful in this deck, especially if you happen to go second. 2 copies of Lancia. This is more for if you're going against branded. So if they try and use Mirror Jade effect to banish something you control, you can just Lancia them and stop them from banishing your stuff. For the mirror match, Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries. So yeah, it's really good in the mirror match because you can just as soon as they control a monster, you can just reveal. You can just discard it, reveal. Let's say Gilgamesh. Just go banish all their copies of Gilgamesh. It stops their plays. Doesn't completely stop them in their tracks, but it slows them down. But yeah, it's very useful in the mirror match. 1 copy of Pankratops, just because it's a free summon and you can tribute it to destroy a card your opponent controls. Twin Twistles for back row, and Token Collector for decks like Branded when they use their tokens, Sword Soul, just any deck they use tokens. But yeah, that's the deck list. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thanks for joining this channel, and I'll see you in the next one.